Good morning. This is Miss Maggie T with Lush Exchange. And of course, if you're new to that channel, I want you to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any messages from me. I've been on a roll this week. I've been having a message each and every day. And like I said, when I'm feeling it, I'm bringing it. So I appreciate everybody that tunes in to me every day, every morning, getting your daily cup of inspiration. Definitely. And just wanted to go into ourselves. We have to be the best version of ourselves. Meaning, when you say you want to be successful, when you say you want to be the best of everything that you do, we first have to be the best versions of ourselves. And that's with anything, relationships. You got to take care of you first. You got to make sure you're all right mentally, physically, emotionally. So being the best version of yourself, you can't go into it halfway. You can't expect it to fix itself over time. You got to take that time out to fix you. When you be the best version of yourself, you go harder. You strive for the best. You do things a little differently than others will do it because you think highly of yourself. When you set yourself on a pedestal instead of others, the world looks differently to you because you start to make decisions that's best for your benefit. Is it good for me? Is this the best thing to do? You know what? Let me ignore that because this is creating a problem within myself. You have to fight those demons. You have to fight things that gonna just bring you all the way down, drain all your energy. Just do things to make you sit back and just be in a rut and don't want to do anything. This is what I'm talking about. And of course, I definitely leave you guys with a quote. We're going to go ahead and get into it. How you define yourself is your choice. How others define you is theirs. It's up to you to decide which definition you prefer. Just read that a little bit. And and that quote just means no matter what other people think of you, no matter what other people say and try to bring you down, make you beneath them because they don't feel you're good enough or they don't like anybody that shines over them. So they're going to do everything in their power to make you feel like you're not good enough. Make you feel like that is a stupid thing to do. That you're wasting your time. Like I say, I preach this and I preach this over and over again because I just want you to, I want this embedded in your brain to know that don't matter what these people think of you. No, doesn't matter what people say about you. It's if you allow that to penetrate your mind to thinking that maybe they're right. It's when you do that, you allow others to define who you are. That's when you have those downfalls. That's when you fail because you're too busy trying to impress other people. You're too busy trying to prove something to someone. No, you don't owe it to nobody at all. Not a soul. So let's get to it, people. And good morning, by the way, if I haven't said that. But you have to be the best version of yourself. Be ready to shred your old self completely. Become the best version of yourself means that you're going to move away from where you are. So you must be willing to shred your old self. So we develop these old habits. We do these old things, and we're just, at that time, we didn't quite know where we were going out of life. But that's fine. At first, you don't succeed, try and try again. So you're going to make mistakes. You're going to do things. And it's nothing is a failure if you allow it to be a failure. It's just only a stepping stone to your path of the future. When you're raising your own bar, you're essentially creating a gap between you and the people around you. Your old self is going to resist that. Don't let the resistance get its way. So, yeah, you're going to have those moments that you're going to revert back into your old ways. I definitely get it. When we just find ourselves back and here we are again. We're back in the same situation. You got to talk to yourself sometimes. You do. It may sound crazy, but girl, what are you doing? You got to talk to yourself sometimes, especially if you don't have those friends you can rely on. Talk to yourself. Let go of certainty and embrace uncertainty instead. Nothing is certain after all. The earlier you realize, the more you can improve. So the quicker you can figure that out, the better you'll be. Acknowledge your fear, then tame it like a master. Oh, I like that. Most people are unable to even take action because of fear. Don't let it limit you. Don't be afraid to take those chances. Admit that you're fearful, but proceed anyway. Anyone who says he has no fear is not telling you the full story. The full story is he has tamed his fear. The things you're looking forward to could be just right at the edge of your comfort zone. Be courageous. It's okay to make mistakes as long as you don't make the foolhardy ones. So, meaning, it's okay to not get it right that first time. But if you're making selfish, crazy decisions that just makes absolutely no sense just because you just want to cut a fool, those are the mistakes I'm talking about. You are literally doing these things because, and you know it's not good for you. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. There are mistakes, but there are self-inflicted mistakes that you choose to do because you don't care. You got to be better than, certain situations. You have to do better. It's because you're going through something. Life doesn't mean a punishment for yourself. Stop it. Vigorous self-education. Read, get mentors, observe, experiment, learn. The best people never stop learning. If you want to be the best version of yourself, do what they do. Never let school interfere with your education. Actively educate yourself about topics which can bring you to your great heights and put all your heart into it. Meaning, don't just settle for just what the textbook is telling you. Do a bit more research. Start talking to these businesses. You have to really dig deep into something if you really want it enough. You can only read the textbook literature back to back a million times, and it may not even click for you that way. But when you study the art a bit more, when you get into these social groups and become an intern here and do things that's going to make you better, ask questions. Don't be afraid. That's one thing about people. They're afraid to, and it's not that you're trying to jump right into that thing unprepared. But by you asking these questions of those big people that are doing it like you want to be doing it, it's nothing wrong with just having a little chit chat about it. Hey, I'm up and coming. I'm interested in what you got going on. Do you mind taking the time out to kind of give me a little bit of tips? And of course, people are only going to give you what they want to allow. That's understandable. They're not going to just spill it all out to you. They expect you to figure that out because not every business is going to be the same. You always want to be bigger than the next. You always want to be, you want to outshine. You want your experience different from the next person. Don't get trapped in eternal study. You can never consume all information, strategies, and tactics available. Gathering input is necessary, but it means nothing without output. On the other hand, scarcity creates value. What are scarce? Massive action, shipping, delivery, impact. In short, outputs are scarce. Be conscious about your input output ratio. Meaning what you take in is all too well, but what is it that you put out makes the difference. Think long term, like 10 years down the road. It's always easier to enjoy watching TV compared to hitting the gym. Most people cling to instant gratification because it feels good in the short run. However, the opportunity cost is huge. When you spend an hour on mindless TV watching, you could have read a book which will potentially increase your income by 50%. In other words, you're sacrifice that amount of income increment to watch pointless cat videos. So sometimes we do things that is a waste of time. What can you be doing at this hour, this minute, that could best possibly make you better? Learn to postpone immediate pleasures for long-term values. Put opportunity cost into your perspective. Things won't go exactly as planned, but having a big picture vision helps you move towards the direction you want. Be 100% better every day. After a year, you'll be 3,700% better. Well, 1% better, basically. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Be 1% better. And think about it and do the math. It's 3,778.34% to be more accurate. People aim for unrealistic growth over the short term, especially when they're super motivated. The problem is that's not sustainable. Since you're looking for long-term improvement, consider making compounding effect your best friend. So meaning every day has to be a day you're going to be better. Every day should be something, a habit at this point, that you would like to be just a little bit better than you was yesterday. If you think of it in that sense, you will definitely go far, my friend. Amplify your strengths. You can be anything, but you can't be everything. Okay? You can't be Hulk. If you have strengths, amplify them. For example, some people have different skills, that they're great at, and use these strengths to teach, anyone else. If you have certain weaknesses, though, build a team with complementarily, just like I said, a mastermind team is what they call it, really. Skills to cover your weaknesses. So where you're weak at, you have somebody that has a strong point. You bring these people together and you create a connection. You create a partnership. It's like, I may not be best in graphic design, but I have somebody that does. He might not be good at writing articles, but I know someone that has that. You have to think about it in that sense. If you think that everybody has it all together, they taught themselves that, of course, but there's also some weaknesses that people struggle with. It's okay. If you have certain weaknesses, like I said, just have that team, because if anything, you can learn from these people. And it will amplify your strengths. It will make you better as well, because it's like you are accepting of the fact that, okay, this little portion of myself I'm not the best at, but you make smart decisions to make sure that it's not missed, though. that you bring somebody in that's a great asset to you. Form your success cabinet and shoot for the stars. You're the average of 5 people you spend the most time with, because that's who you self-consciously set benchmarked against. To reach maximum height, you'll need a group of high-performance, trustworthy people around you. They will set your benchmarks at least 10 times higher. And of course, this is called the success cabinet. Form your own success cabinet and find ways to bring value to the table. Lift each other up. And that's a big one. You know, it's nothing wrong with giving somebody else some praise here and there. And if it's one day it's this person, that's okay. You're going to get your time. And no. I'm giving this person praise because I'm seeing their achievements and they deserve some type of recognition. Cultivate genuine relationships. By doing so, you'll improve immensely. Give what you have. What are you rich at? And figure that out. You may think that you have nothing to give, but in fact, you do. Everyone is rich in some way. Things you can give include money, smiles, inspiration, confidence, skills, arts, musics, jokes, free rides, services, expertise, past experiences, wisdom, and many, many more. You can just go on and go on. Being rich does not mean financially. So yeah, you must be rich at something. Giving what you have forces you to tap into your potential. What you do, you have in abundance that people are looking for. The more you give, the more you get. But don't focus on what you'll get. That's another thing. Just give. I was reluctant to give, but now I realize that giving is one of the most fulfilling things I can do. So I just offer like this motivation. That's my gift back to you guys. Solve real problems and adjust along the way. Solving imaginary problems can be helpful, but it's often fear and procrastination in disguise. I made mistakes and wasted months on things. And if you're doing the same, get out of your head and solve real problems. If you fail, good. You've identified a way which doesn't work. You've learned something. Now go out and do it again. Reiterate until it's successful. Along the way, you'll also learn how to make adjustments. Every master once had a disaster. Keep doing this and you'll find ways to offer value and be a linchpin. It is not easy, but it's achievable. Keep a journal. I always tell you how to write things down. Help your brain to keep up with its thoughts. We can't keep up with all our thoughts. Sometimes we have to write it down. Hence, I always journal my thoughts so I can work through them. Especially if you can't get to them now, you can get to them later. And get your notebooks handy. Or simply make notes on your mobile phones or laptops. Anywhere you can make a note, you can bring your attention back to it. Because you want to bring that back, Build momentum smartly. Think big. Start small. People tend to overestimate what they can do in a day, but underestimate what they can do in a year. Becoming the best version of yourself is a marathon, not a sprint. If you sprint, you'll be gasping for breath pretty soon. So if you just rush into it and expect it to instantly hit like that, it's not going to happen that way. Think big, start small. So baby steps. Stop thinking about starting. Just start. Do it. I'm saying that very boldly. Stop it. Stop the excuses. Stop it. Last but not least, but macro patient, microaggression. So microaggression, I'll say it again. Last but not least, be macro patient and microaggressive. Live your life every day to the fullest by doing what's necessary. Learn to differentiate what's within and beyond your circle of control. Some things you can't help. Once you've done your best, what happens? Be patient and keep grinding. As long as you're working in the right direction, things will work itself out. The most important of all, enjoy the journey, even if it sucks sometimes. So it's going to suck. Oh, it's going to be even harder to push yourself that day. But if you always bring your mind back to the fact that you are working towards a goal and you can't stop, you won't stop, that's how you become the best person. Okay? On that note, people, I hope you got something out of this message. I'm going on 20 minutes now. Didn't want to hold up more of your time, but let me know what you feel about that. And of course, if you're reaching the end of this video, I want you to say, I respect the message that you gave. Okay? Just to let me know. I appreciate you guys. Until the next time, this is Miss Maggie T with Lush Exchange. And I'm out. Peace.